Going on, guys? So Borderlands is getting chewed up, pretty much spit out. The reviews are completely terrible. Pretty much everything about it is just not going over well. The entire premise was bad from the get. I didn't like the cast. That was something I wasn't going to like to begin with, and I am glad that I missed the entire film. And I'll just go ahead and catch it on streaming or just wherever $5 bin they decide to put it in. And the problem, I thought from the beginning, was the cast. The cast was not good. There was like great actors, but they're just not fit for the roles. Only half of them were even cast right, and one of them was wearing a mask and pretty much only needs to say really weird shit the whole time. Now, Jack Black was pretty much about as good as you're going to get outside of the original voice actor, and I'll go ahead and say Cate Blanchett was not a good fit for the role. Now, I know a lot of people still find her attractive, especially when she's older, and while I'm not going to argue her attractiveness by no means, I will say she's not fit to play a 20-something-year-old. That's just not going to work. I knew it was going to crash and burn because of the casting alone. I did not know the writing was that bad. And here's the worst part: is the producer that's pretty much tied to this film is also the same producer that's supposed to be involved with a film that I've been waiting on, and I actually covered in a video. Ironically, I also covered this in a video, the whole trailer with Borderlands. Legend of Zelda. He's attached to that. Don't know when it's coming out, don't know when it's going to start being made, but he's supposed to be attached to that. The only good news that I'm seeing right now is that anything he's attached to, which is primarily Marvel, by the way, is kind of hit and miss, so we may still get a good movie, don't know. But 2024 at the moment is just not a good year for him, because all the movies he's done is just not it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and explain. This is some of the filmography. Right now, and I didn't know this, by the way, there is also a Naruto movie that's he's attached to, he's supposed to be co-producing. But the untitled The Legend of Zelda film, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. But here's the two movies, Borderlands and Kraven the Hunter, that he is tied to co-producing. Now, I assume co-producer is just a tag. He's probably not actually doing anything with the film. He just might be a part of it because of like some rights that he owns. And here's the other thing. The person I would like to blame for all of this is Eli Roth. Now, this is Eli Roth, the guy you're looking at right here. I'll go ahead and, since it's his Wikipedia, and you can pretty much see everything about him if you want to pause and read. But that's Eli Roth. Now, if you don't recognize him, he's been in a lot of films. He usually takes small roles, stuff like that. Not a whole lot I can just remember right off the bat, but I do know that I remember seeing him in pretty much like a bunch of stuff. But the ironic part is his filmography is not that bad. A lot of the ones he's done is actually pretty decent films. Cabin Fever, one of my favorites, and kind of just weird, but it was good. Hostel, another good one, where he was a writer, director, producer. Hostel Part 2, I don't remember watching that, but just knowing Hostel 1 and Part 2 was probably pretty decent. They had Aftershock, The Man with Iron Fists, Green Inferno, and then apparently Cabin Fever again, which I didn't know he did 2 of them. So yeah, no, that's news to me. I didn't know he did Cabin Fever again, which I'll probably have to take a peek. Death Wish, House with the Clocks in the Walls, which if you didn't know, that was one of the films that had Jack Black in it as well. Finn, Thanksgiving, Borderlands. Now, half of these movies didn't even really reach a whole lot of, like critic acclaim, basically. A lot of them are still like way below 40. Handful are just above 80. So he's kind of a hit and miss, more miss than hit. And I do understand that you definitely should take critics, even what I'm saying, with a grain of salt, because I mean, these are opinions, and I don't think critics are like the be-all, say-all person. They should be taken with like the biggest grain of salt, because a lot of them have like sticks up their ass. But you can't tell me that 10% and the audience score is only 30 that both of them are wrong. I don't see being that it's way below even 50. So there's not even half the audiences that even enjoyed it, and 10% of the critics even cared. Now to get back to some of the fumbles, the thing is, like I said, the cast. You also had Kevin Hart, who is a good actor if he ever, spread his acting chops a little more. He has done good films. He's pretty much tied to comedic films only because he is 5 foot tall, and he's always that like real angry small guy. That's pretty much all he is, and unfortunately, he just can't spread that acting prowess at all. And the problem with him is the fact he's playing a character that's supposed to be like 6 foot something. And here's the thing, unlike like say Legend of Zelda, you can't like just take the source material of like the different races and just kind of tweak them a little bit, and they can kind of have similar names. Like Legend of Zelda itself is not the same story every time. While yes, same premise, where it's usually we have Zelda, we have Link, and we have Ganon, or some form of dark power entity that is tied to just darkness itself or whatever they're trying to tie it to. And a lot of reoccurring names. So that works in that universe, or that entire IP. So if he does a movie, he can just pretty much copy that formula and it'll work. Borderlands does not have the big, wide variety of stories. It is literally one cohesive, goofy story where all the characters are named and is one story. It's not set in like multiple timelines that are separated by hundreds of thousands of years, or, quite literally you can see it's complete different like game. It's entirely one style game, one type of game, and it's one cohesive story. So you can't really just, fiddle with that, especially as much as what they did. I was having this talk with somebody at work today, why I thought it fumbled, and that's literally it. Bad casting, and the writing would have been bad, and the idea that you can try to twist a story that's already one story. It's literally like, it's like messing up a book. When you mess up the book's lore, people are going to get pissed off. Now, you can tweak it a little bit. Just don't get me wrong. You can tweak things. This stuff can work. But this was not going to be one of them. And I'm hoping, going forward, Avi, since he's attached to the Zelda movie, please don't mess it up. Please don't. You're really going to hurt my feelings. This is something I've been waiting for a long time. Me and some friends back when I... was like roughly, I think, 18 or 19 years old. Huge Zelda fans. We sat there doing our own storyboard and writing our own movie, knowing we'd never be able to get it off the ground. But we enjoyed, like, these ideas of what a movie could look like. And if he's going to be attached to it and it sucks, I'm going to be upset. Considering right now, we just now pretty much in America have the rights to do Nintendo property movies again after pretty much losing, the ability to for like almost 30 years, if not 30 years, because of the Super Mario Brothers movie was so ass. Now, yeah, nostalgically, it's kind of bad, it's good, and I think that's where Borderlands falls, is it's not so bad it's good, it's just not great at all. And another thing, the budget was like $120 million. It only got $4 million back as of right now. And I was reading somewhere where it said basically they did not do like another 120. Usually you double whatever marketing is. They stated there was like 60 million. So we'll just say around 200 million is what their budget was, including advertising. So they still have lost like $196 million. And even just saying 150 million just to be on the conservative side of this. And that's still really, really bad. I haven't seen a movie that is supposed to be this popularized do so bad in quite a long time, especially with the budget being just kind of good and still bombing that bad on opening weekend. But yeah, I'm upset, not gonna lie, hurt my feelings, but that's about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.